It's time to punch a ticket to the state tournament. Welcome into Alcoa High School in East Tennessee, where we are set for a Class 3A girls sectional round matchup between the visiting Upperman Lady Bees and the hosting Alcoa Lady Tornadoes. I'm Noel McKay on the call here on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network. Thrilled to be joined in the Upper Cumberland Generators broadcast booth by Coach Austin McWilliams. The lovely Madison McKay producing things for us tonight. Our presenting sponsor is Gentry's Power Equipment, and this is the Crouch Team with Highlands Lake Real Estate pregame show 5 minutes away from tip-off as Upperman looks to get back to a familiar place, Murfreesboro and the Murphy Center, 4 games away from a state championship, but in their way are the Region 3 3A champion Alcoa Lady Tornadoes. A lot to get into in the tail of the tape in this one, but let's first start with the macro view. Austin, it's an Upperman Lady Bees team that while they fell in the region semifinals last year, the first 2 years for this senior class, both sub-state wins, both into the state tournament. They have been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and they're hoping that experience tonight propels them back to Murfreesboro.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, when you have kids with experience in this kind of game, it helps you settle down and helps you get a chance to, ultimately get into a game that you look forward to all season. We always talk about trying to get one game to go to the state tournament, and they've made it here, and so, using that experience for them is going to be a big deal tonight.
Let's get to the tail of the tape in this one. 3 matchups all time between these two teams. They played in 2018, 2019, and 2022. The Lady Bees won the first 2 meetings. Alcoa won in the Andrew Johnson Bank Ladies Classic 42-41 back in 2022. There have been a few common opponents between these two teams this year. The Kings Academy, both teams went 1-1. Farmington out of Arkansas, Upperman beat them 54-51. Alcoa lost 72-61. Gaffney out of South Carolina. Both of these were in the AJB Ladies Classic. Upperman beat Gaffney handedly, 61-34. Alcoa won a fight, 71-65. And Bearden, a great Bearden team. Upperman knocked off Bearden 59-50. Alcoa lost to Bearden 60-51. This is an Alcoa team hungry to finally get over the hump. Under head coach David Bauman in his 11th season, they are 26-7, but they have 5 straight sub-state appearances, just 1-4 in those matchups. The last 4 were all in Class 2A. Now they bump up to Class 3A. The last 3 matchups in the sectional round has been at McMinn Central. We know that Chargerettes program is a perennial powerhouse. They are here at home because they knocked off the Heritage Lady Mountaineers 60-52 in the Region 3 3A championship. They've won 7 consecutive games in 16 out of 17. The only loss in that streak against that Bearded team. They have 4 state tournament appearances all time. But in their way is a dynasty. The Upperman Lady Bees under head coach Dana McWilliams in her 32nd season in Baxter. 25-9 on the season. The District 7 3A and Region 4 3A runners-up. This is their 8th appearance in the sub-state round in the last 11 seasons, and they know how to win when they get here. 7-0 in those matchups, coming off a hard-fought loss. Gracie Clark with the bucket with 3 seconds to go, 40-38 against White County in the region title. They have 12 all-time state tournament appearances, 7 in the last 11 years, 11 under Dana McWilliams. They're the 3-time state champion, 4-time runner-ups, 5 of those appearances in the last decade. It's an Upperman team that knows how to win when they get here, and they hope that having that U on the shirt plays a big role here on the road in what will be a good environment, an Alcoa team that is very talented. But the intimidation factor when Upperman Lady Bees come into your gym is always a factor. They're trying to lean on that tonight.
I was talking about that earlier with somebody. I mean, Alcoa's, played several years in a row in the sub-state game. They finally win the region championship, and congratulations, you get to host Upperman. I mean, it's for them, it's probably unfortunate they feel like, but obviously getting to play at home for them, they're super excited, and hopefully that the Lady Bees can kind of settle into this big atmosphere early and hopefully come out with a win.
Let's get to the South Pula Auto Clinic starting lineups. First for the Upperman Lady Bees under head coach Dana McWilliams, with a record of 25 victories and 9 losses. Starting tonight for the Lady Bees, the sophomore, number 3, Cassie Crouch. Number 11, a junior, Sadie South. Number 12, a senior, Taylor Delenti. Number 22, a senior, Gracie Butler. And number 23, a senior, Maggie Butler. Their opponents tonight, the Alcoa Lady Tornadoes, under head coach David Bauman in his 11th season at the helm. Starting tonight for the Tornadoes, number 3, a senior, Hallie Bailey. Number 11, and a very impressive freshman, Harper Stinnett. Number 22, a junior, Riley Flatt. Number 23, a senior, Gwen Carroll. Number 34, a senior, Maddie Stewart. Starters for the Lady Bees, Crouch, South, Delenti, Butler, and Butler. And for the Lady Tornadoes, it is Bailey, Stinnett, Flatt, Carroll, and Stewart. The stage is set On the other side, it's all the action. Upperman trying to return to the Glass House for the 8th time in the last 11 seasons. They'll have to knock off the Region 3 champions to get there. Coverage is presented by Gentry's Power Equipment, and you're watching it right here on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Upperman football on UCR. Located at 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville, Gentry's Power Equipment is your local steel dealer. With a huge selection of outdoor power equipment, including chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, mowers, pressure washers, and more. They are your local one-stop shop for high-quality equipment. Locally owned and operated, Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to support Upperman Athletics and UCR. Are you looking for the best dining experience in the Upper Cumberland? Visit Fire and Vine in Cookeville's historic West Side. Fire and Vine offers great service and a unique menu, including mouth-watering deep dish pizza, delectable beef, chicken, fish, and more. Take in stunning views from the rooftop while enjoying your meal. Come and experience the charm and flavor of Fire and Vine, your new favorite spot for a memorable dining experience. Fire and Vine is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Mayberry's Furniture has been family-owned and operated since 1946 and is now serving the Upper Cumberland with locations in both Crossville and Cookeville, offering the largest array of solid wood furniture and mattresses in the area. They also provide a best price guarantee and in-house service and delivery. Stop into their 15,000 square foot showroom at 1020 South Willow Avenue in Cookeville to see their selection of Amish solid wood, flex steel, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy Posturepedic, and much more today. Mayberry's Furniture is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the high school football game of the week on the UCR Media Network. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate proudly presents this brand new construction on the Caney Fork River in Sparta. This home sits on 1.6 acres with 190 feet of river frontage and boasts 2,300 square feet of living space with a spacious 2-car garage. Enjoy the river views from your beautiful expanded covered porch. For more information, visit chadandamycrouch.com or call 931-979-1191. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media. Livingston Regional Hospital is Livingston's hometown hospital. Located at 315 Oak Street, Livingston Regional Hospital provides compassionate quality care for all patients from local people you can trust, so you can count on them to treat you like family. Their excellent staff offers years of experience and training to meet the needs of all patients. They understand the importance of providing care in a professional and comforting manner. They're proud to partner with Livingston Academy Athletics through the LRH Sports Medicine team. Livingston Regional Hospital is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Moments away from tip-off here in Alcoa. It's the Upperman Lady Bees against the Alcoa Lady Tornadoes for a trip to the Class 3A state tournament starting on Wednesday in Murfreesboro. We are live on the main UCR Facebook page, YouTube channel, and NFHS Network. We will give the disclaimer that we give this time of year. If you're an Alcoa Tornado fan, the NFHS Network has the Alcoa broadcast. They are very one-sided, which is quite all right. I say that to say, go watch that one. This is not your broadcast tonight, because while we congratulate on a great season, we would like for it to come to an end this evening. I'm Noah McKay. That's Coach Austin McWilliams. The lovely Madison McKay producing things. It's Upperman Lady B basketball on UCR. What a season it's been already, but the goal and the target in Baxter, Tennessee is not sub-state. It's the shiny gold ball, of which there are 3 for the girls, 1 for the boys. They want a couple of more this year to get a chance at it. You got to beat Alcoa on the road tonight. Upperman in their road, black uniforms, black shorts, gold numbers and letters outlined in white trim. Alcoa in their home, white uniforms, white shorts, maroon numbers and letters with gray trim. Baxter across the front for the Lady Bees as they represent the tiny town in West Putnam County. We sure are happy to be along with you tonight, wherever you're watching from. We've got an hour with just us and then 2 other games across the network. Heritage in White County on UCR 3, Cookeville Green Hill on UCR 2. Gracie Butler against Gwen Carroll in the circle. Let's get it on for a trip to the state tournament as Alcoa possesses the tip, and they'll bring it ahead quickly here. Flat has it. Upperman starts in the 2-3 zone. We wondered if they would. They do. Into the low block it goes. Delenti, great defense. Shot no. Crouch on the rebound. Upperman wants to slow this basketball game down as Cassie Crouch has a tall task against Hallie Bailey. She is a great softball player, a very good basketball player as well. Here's Sadie South as she gives to Gracie Butler. Butler touches back to Crouch, now Maggie. Upperman thinks they'll have an opportunity to hit some open shots in this game if they can keep it under control. They do not there as that one goes out of bounds. Possession back to Alcoa.
Yep, two early possessions here from both teams. A little unsettling, you can tell.
Here comes Alcoa into the front court, skip feed over left side. They can shoot the lights out. This three won't go. Rebound down. Second chance, Lady Tornadoes. A fastball. Bailey goes up to keep it in. Now left wing it goes into the corner. Three ball on the way, and that one's good. Gwen Carroll gets the game's first points. You expect a big punch out of the home team. Crowd is in it. It's about withstanding it for Upperman and getting them into deep waters. Right side, here's Cassie Crouch trailing 3-0. That was a big deal to get it into the front court clean, relatively uncontested. South fires it right side. Crouch bobbles. The sophomore, this is her biggest start. Now Crouch gives to Maggie. She'll drive, throws it up, and a foul. Maddie Stewart commits the personal. This will be 2 free throws for Maggie Butler at the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line. Home crowd doesn't like it. That's a foul every day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Both teams, both sides for Upperman, and being able to get the ball to the rim is a good sign for them. Usually have a lot of success when they're able to get it around the rim to paint.
First one for Maggie is good. The free throw line is certainly going to be important for Upperman. It has been feast or famine. It's all or nothing. And in the region championship game, there was a lot of nothing, and it hurt them badly. Here, it's 2 for 2 for Maggie Butler, and it's 3-2. Got to get on the boards defensively. Gave up an offensive rebound, allowed the second chance bucket last time down the floor. Out to Bailey. She'll toss it in now. That's a textbook 2-3 beater, but we know this isn't the average 2-3. Left wing 3 on the way and good. Told you they could shoot the lights out. Riley Flatt with her first triple, and it's 6-2 Alcoa. Crouch into the front court here, working against Bailey. Tosses it over to South. She catches, has a lane. Takes it inside. Sadie puts it off the glass and good for 2. Upperman doesn't want to track meet tonight, but they'll take it when they get an opportunity like that.
Be interesting to see how Upperman can kind of settle down here in this zone defense.
Turnaround jumper from the free throw line. Doesn't hit. Delenti has the rebound punched. It went right over to the waiting arms of Harper Stinnett, and the freshman has her first 2. 3 straight cash trips for the Lady Tornadoes on their home floor. It's 8-4. Here's Gracie Butler. She'll toss it back to Taylor Delenti. Taz into the front court here for the Lady Bees. She'll fire it over to Maggie. Lines up the triple. Good. Maggie Butler with a Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate 3. Quick possessions for Upperman. Both offenses in rhythm. It's 8-7. Here inside Stewart gives back. Turnaround jumper. Gets the friendly roll. Maddie Stewart with the 2. This is not the style of game Upperman wants to play, Austin. Inbound goes to South. She'll bring it ahead. South fires it ahead to Maggie Butler. From the left wing, Maggie gives to Gracie. Gracie off a screen left side. Drives, skips it back to Crouch. Cassie brings it out from the left wing back to Maggie. Looking for another one. Popped out, no rebound down to Stewart. Here comes Alcoa again. They are in rhythm. Stepping into the 3. On the way, no. Gracie rather has the rebound. Here comes Upperman. Outlet feed to Maggie, but it was too short. That one was deflected by Stewart. A turnover right back. Bailey, Euro step behind the back. Really not a good shot. Delenti on the rebound.
Some of these shots are hard to rebound. Upperman's got to figure out a way to slow the pace down after they get it.
They don't hear as Gracie Butler just drives in. Bella Fies to the table for Upperman. 10-7, 4:40 to go. And a bump as Bailey leaned into Gracie, who commits the first foul on the Lady Bees in the game. Wonder when we may see the patented early quick cash pawn timeout from Dana McWilliams. A back-and-forth affair favors Alcoa. They want these possessions to go over 20 seconds tonight, do the Lady Bees.
Which could, obviously, early they've scored it and shot it really well and got multiple extra points, and you're only down 3, early. So being able to find that rhythm sort of for us defensively and offensively, get a little time to adjust.
Alcoa goes to the bench as well. J.C. Cox in for the first time as the pass goes over right side. Katie Bremer now into the corner right on cue. They'll swing it back out. Now Stinnett on the drive. Stinnett bodied up. That is not a foul. Maggie Butler called for the personal, and Harper Stinnett will go to the line for 2. The Butlers have to stay out of foul trouble. They each have 1. And the freshman, who's going to be a Miss Basketball type player in her career, goes to the line for 2.
Foul trouble is going to play a big part for Upperman. Obviously, like you said, with both Butlers staying out of it, and, they keep a pretty short leash on the bench typically. So being able to stay in the game is a big deal for them. Stinnett
hits the first, and that was the whistle had blown before contact was even made. A complete anticipatory foul call. That will be bad news for Upperman if they go with that this evening. Stinnett goes 2 for 2, and it's 12-7 Alcoa. They're into their full court press as Delenti will throw it in, at least try to. Taz going to fire over the top to Maggie, who grabs it. Into the front court she goes. Fires it over to South. Quick lay good.
Really good
Sadie
pass.
South with the 2.
Great pass, great finish.
Upperman's offense good early on. 12-9, 4:14 to go in the first. Cox thought about the long one and stick gives over to Bremer. Cox again, back to Bremer. She'll line up the 3. Crouch contest, no good, but it's another offensive rebound for Alcoa. Back to Cox. Upperman trying to settle into the zone. Good closeout for Phi. Runner up, no, short. Maggie is fouled on the rebound attempt. Katie Bremer hacked her on the arm, second against the Lady Tornadoes. Gracie Butler back to the table, and a couple of stoppages good for the Lady Bees. Take a breath, settle into this contest a little bit after a frenetic pace. Delenti to inbound. They're a little late getting going. Taz got to fire it in. She gets it to South in the corner. It's not a trap, though, so Sadie's able to work out. South back to Delenti. Got to go forward. Delenti does to Gracie, who is fouled. Ronique Garner commits the personal. That's her first, team's third.
The way this game's officiated is going to impact it through the stretch. You know, will the officials continue to call those little handshakes and things like that throughout the course? We'll see.
3:45 to go in the opening quarter. Here's Cassie Crouch with it for the Lady Bees. Cox steps to her. Cassie works it left side back to Gracie. Gracie on the drive. Cox bodies her up. Gracie says, let's ball. Good and one. Gracie Butler with the bucket. Going to the line, trying to tie the game at 12.
Really good, strong drive and finish.
Cox called for her first, team's fourth, and Gracie Butler says, we want to bang, let's bang inside there, and she finishes off the glass. The Johnson University signee will go to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line for one. And we're tied. Gracie B with the finish. She now has 3 in the quarter, and it's 12-12, 3.5 to go in the frame as Maggie goes back to the scorer's table. Upperman back into the 2-3. Toss over to Cox. Back out to Bailey. Cox again. Thought about the deep one. Upperman going to have to let him shoot that shot tonight. Right side, Bremer. Bremer bounces back to Bailey. Bailey runs this show. She is a very impressive point guard. You turn on the tape, just does the little things well. She'll work it right side. Now Bremer top of the key. Goes to work into the mid-range. Touches it back out to Garner. Now back out a long 3 for Cox. That one is an air ball. Possession back to the Lady Bees. And again, Austin, 30-second possession. That's what Upperman's looking for tonight.
For sure, and they've been able to adjust their zone a little bit matchup-wise to kind of see who they need to be and who they need to find in certain spots, and you'll see this hopefully settle in.
Big game tonight for young Bella Phi, the sophomore into the front court against Bremer. She'll skip it over to South. Maggie with space to operate, catches the low pass back to South. Now Delenti. Shot fake, wide open 3. No rebound, Maggie Butler. Got pushed, no call, will play on. Cox on the board, here we come. Alcoa in transition, Bailey just spins and triggers it. Possession back the other direction. Big key to the game. Alcoa does not want to play offense for long.
No,
you see it there. Now a full court outlet feed to Sadie South. Bobbles, gathers, touches to Maggie, puts it up, can't hit. Rebound down the other way, Garner. Here comes Flat. She'll line up another 3 off the dribble and hits. Riley Flat hits her second of the quarter, and it's 15-12. Did I say they could shoot the lights out? They can shoot the lights out. And they're trying to shoot the season out for the Lady Bees tonight. Delenti to Maggie Butler. Picks up. Goes left side 5. Well defended on the back cut by Bailey. Now Maggie has it left wing side. Back to 5. Thought about it, gives to Delenti instead. Left side, here's 5. She'll bring it back out. Near half court, dumps it ahead to Maggie. Now Gracie. Gracie activates on the dribble. She'll spin and fire Maggie. She'll line up the 3. That one's no good. A rebound down Cox. Long possession, empty-handed for Upperman. 3-point lead in the ball for Alcoa. 90 to go in the first quarter. Pass behind Bremer. She keeps it. Back to Cox. Sends it over to Bailey. Now left side. Here's a drive, and that is a bad foul to take. Gracie just reached in. That is Gracie Butler's second, team's third, each on the Butler twins as Crouch goes back to the table to check in for Gracie Butler.
Exactly what we talked about earlier, being able to stay in the game, so valuable. Not a real smart one there.
You want that second foul to be on a drive inside, trying to go for a block, not on a reach, and a non-scoring chance. See how the Lady Bees adjust to it. Here's Flat. She'll skip it over right side. Cox lines up the 3. Can't hit. Rebound Delenti. Big collision. It ends up with Alcoa for now, and they're going to call Cassie for a foul. Cassie Crouch picks up her first, team's fourth. An Athens-based officiating crew, certainly closer to one school than the other. TT Carson has not played much here in recent weeks. She's going to play more tonight, and she can check in. She checks in for Bella Phi. They need her to play the way she did in Greenville when they won the AJB Ladies Classic. Inbound coming here for Bailey, 1:11 to go in the first quarter. Bailey tosses in right side. Now back out. Over to right Cox. Cox slices the lane, tied up, nearly stolen. She saves it back in Bailey. She'll touch it to Bremer. Another one goes uncalled. Bremer dumps back. Long three again. That one's no good. Carson with the rebound.
Down by TT.
TT Carson should play with her hair on fire tonight. She's got a big opportunity to work her way back into things. Delenti. 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. 15-12. Buckle up for a four-quarter fight tonight. Maybe the best quadrant in 3A basketball. These four with these two teams in Alcoa, Heritage and White County, who will face off on UCR 3 coming up in 45 minutes. Crouch gives back out to Maggie. Upperman content to bleed this thing down. One final possession if they can hold possession. Crouch jabs a couple of times, stepping out to guard is flat. Crouch sends over to Delenti. 5-second clock resets when she puts the dribble down. Delenti with 10 seconds, fires the back cut to South off the line. She saves it to Carson. TT drives, Euro, puts it up. Can't hit, rebound loose. It's still loose. Carson has it, throws it up at the horn. It doesn't go. And that brings us to the end of a dogfight through one here in East Tennessee. Alcoa 15, Upperman 12. Upperman basketball in the Class 3A Sub-State round is presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Tee-Up is the Upper Cumberland's best indoor golfing experience. With 3 state-of-the-art golf simulators, you can work on some of the world's best courses, all in the comfort of their climate-controlled facility. Want to know where you can improve? See everything from club speed to spin rate in seconds. They also have plenty of other games to enjoy time with friends. Conveniently located at 141 4th Street in Baxter. Stop in. Visit them online at teeupgolfclub.com or call them at 931-559-GOLF to reserve your simulator today. Tee-Up is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Amanette's Eagle Auction and Realty is proud to present an online-only auction featuring John Deere and Kubota tractors, trucks, and farm equipment. You can bid on these items at eagleauctions.com or call 931-526-5335 for more information. Bidding on this online-only auction ends March 12th at 10 a.m. Amanette's Eagle Auction and Realty is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Second quarter underway here in Alcoa. 15-12 Lady Tornadoes with a 3-point lead as Crouch gives to Taylor Delenti. Noah McKay, Austin McWilliams, Madison McKay along with you here on a beautiful Saturday night as Delenti baseline has space. Yeah, you probably want to guard
really
her.
Good move.
Taylor Delenti lays it in for 2.
Right there you can see Alcoa does a good job a lot of times switching man stuff because they can guard so many spots. A little confusion being able to get the layup.
First bucket for Taylor Delenti tonight. They need her to play at her best. The senior trying to extend her high school career. What a senior class this is, trying to get back to the glass house for the 3rd time in 4 seasons. Bounce it to the baseline, Upperman in the 2-3. Long 2 on the way, no rebound. Crouch with a great board for Cassie Crouch.
Those are the ones you'll live with if you can rebound them.
Here's Spy in transition right side. Eyes up for Bella. She'll skip it back to Delenti. Taz gives over to Maggie. Maggie on the drive back to Delenti with space. Bella Phi is wide open. So is Delenti as she drives. It's blocked. It ends up with Carson. Carson back to Maggie. She'll line up the 3. Feeling it. No. Rebound down. In open space. Here comes Harper Stinnett. Stinnett. Swipe from behind, maintains possession. Lines up the 3, can't hit. Nobody on the weak side. What a block! Delenti with the block ahead to Phi. Now all alone, Maggie. Great feed. Maggie Butler, Lady Bees lead. Timeout time for the Alcoa Lady Tornadoes. A tremendous defensive play by Taylor Delenti into the outlet feed. Maggie Butler with the 2.
There's what we've talked about, them finally settling in and being able to put some plays together.
First lead of the game for Upperman, 16-15. And Austin, we're talking in the break, it was very fast early in the game. That's the way Alcoa wants to play. Upperman can do that in spurts. They don't want to play that way for 32 minutes. Back half of the first quarter, a little bit better in that regard. you got to be okay with where you're at if you're Dana McWilliams and then a couple of your brothers on the coaching staff with Emily Hughes as well.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, Alcoa, they take some shots that you're okay with and fast. You just got to be careful not wanting to do the same on the other end.
You've got to be okay with them taking a 32-footer, but you still close out against shooters of this caliber. Here they come right side. You want to force them into a shot late in a possession. Into the corner, not like that. Wide open three, no. Delenti with a box out rebound, tip to Maggie. Ahead to Crouch. 16-15, Lady Bees on top, 6:23 to go in the first half. Crouch sends over to South, back to Crouch. Cassie finds Bella Fine, now to Delenti. Delenti muscles off the defender, gives back to Crouch. Crouch one dribble, touches back to Delenti. Now Maggie with it. Maggie hands off to Delenti with a head of steam. She'll punch it back 5. Bella 5 from downtown, couldn't bank it in. Rebound. Crouch has it, saves it for a moment, and then it's stolen away by Carroll. Alcoa looking to push. Carroll in transition, throws a contested runner, no. Rebound, second chance, turnaround foul. Upperman needs this to be on Cassie Crouch. She has one already, so does Maggie Butler. But Crouch picks up her second. She's less likely to pick up some later, and Gwen Carroll, a senior, will go to the line for 2.
All that comes back to not being able to rebound the first miss. You got them in a bad spot. If you rebound it, it changes the whole possession.
First one for Carroll is good, and this is a senior class for Alcoa that is desperate in this moment. They have lost 3 straight sub-state games against McMinn Central. They finally get a different opponent. They're finally on their home floor. It just so happens to be Upperman, but they are hungry for a win and desperate for it tonight. Upperman looking to match as Carroll misses the second. 1 for 2, and we remain tied at 16. Now again, Sadie South is all alone and puts it in. This is new.
It'll be interesting to see if Alcoa can make an adjustment. We've shot about 6 layups already in the game.
Upperman's playing a little Stowe Memorial outlet passes right now. They went to the book a little bit. You don't see that too much for this team, but you do today. They saw something on tape they like. Here's Bailey. She'll send it left side back to her. Touches in. Carroll, quick jumper on the way. No. Oh, my goodness, Taylor Delenti. What a box out. Maggie had the rebound. Here comes Upperman with a 2-point lead. And the pace has slowed. Phi gives to Delenti. Delenti content to dribble for a while. Now sends it over to Sadie South. Back to Delenti with space. Couple of subs to the table for Alcoa. Touch pass in off the mark. Looking for Maggie Butler. And possession goes back to Alcoa after an Upperman turnover with 5:02 to go in the second quarter. And a quick cash pawn timeout on the floor by Dana McWilliams. She didn't take one in the first quarter. Usually takes them fairly often, but not yet. This will be her first. And for the Lady Bees now, pace is slowed. You feel pretty good. A long way to go in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, we've gotten a few runouts, layups, and that kind of thing. You'll always take those, but defensively, they've kind of settled to where it's making them have to work the ball a little bit more than one pass and catching and get a good look.
Gentry's Power Equipment is your hometown steel and Exmark dealer. I was there yesterday. They are great local folks. They've been great to us here at UCR. And by the way, there are some zero turns. If I needed one, which I will eventually, I will be buying as soon as I have a yard to need it. But if you do have a yard, go and check out their Exmark machines in the shop. They are beautiful. They're going to treat you right. And tell them that we sent you. 5 minutes to go in the first half. It's 18-16. Upperman with a narrow advantage on the road. Right side, here's Cox. Now, picking up, Bremer fires back to Cox. Now she'll dump it over to Carroll. Carroll throws up the shot, and that is a tough finish. Got away with another travel. There have been several of those so far as Delenti bounces into Bella Phi. 18-18 our score, 4:35 to go in the first half. Phi in the front court, checks back towards her head coach for a new play and a foul. 2 hands into the body. Harper Stinnett picks up her first, team's first, with 4:28 to go in the second.
It's been really good to see Bella Phi and Cassie Crouch both being able to handle the pressure early. That's something that was a big factor coming in this game. They've done a really good job so far.
Inbound goes right to Phi, and she just calmly brings it out with the left-hand dribble. Phi brings it up. Gives back to South. She has some space. We'll see when Sadie decides to let it rip. Delenti gives to Carson. Carson to Phi. Phi touches it over to Maggie, a little bit off kilter. Maggie back to Carson. Delenti wants it. Now she has it. They get the switch inside, but can't get the inlet feed. Instead, Bella Phi has it. Phi into Delenti. She slices through. Now back to the wing. Back to Phi. Bobbles to Delenti. Delenti, what a move. The drive. Slams the brakes. Taz reverses to Carson. And they called her for a travel, which is absurd. considering the amount of uncalled travels against Alcoa, they called T.T. Carson for one there and possession back to the Lady Tornadoes.
Maybe that'll be an adjustment from the officials we see.
Yeah, once you call one, you better start calling them all. Wasn't a travel probably, but there's been several already in this game as Bremer gives to Cox. Now in. Two Lady Bees in front. They're attacking Maggie Butler as the fall-away won't go. Maggie with the save and a foul. They're trying to get Maggie into foul trouble, but she's been defending well to this point as Alcoa is about to pick up their second team foul, and it is a big one, the second on Harper Stinnett.
For Upperman, played a lot of this half without Gracie Butler, and you're in a really good spot. So if you can get to the halftime, you got to feel pretty good.
Inbound here for Delenti. She gives it to Phi. Now numbers if she hurries with Bella does. Into the front court, Phi over to South. Passes up the look. Instead goes into Maggie, who's free and lays it in for two. 9 already for Maggie Butler, who has just been so good in the postseason and before. Here, Bailey long 2 on the way and hits. Hallie Bailey with the jumper, and we're tied up at 20. Here's Bella Phi into the front court. Bremer bodies her in a foul. Wow. Katie Bremer called for her second, team's third. And one official today likes bump calls. He's called them on both teams now, so at least you can say that's consistent.
A little of this goes back to the way the game's officiated in your area throughout the year. This East Tennessee area, it's typically a little more physical, a lot of full court press, hands on the ball. They don't call a lot of that, and so it's been an adjustment for Alcoa.
Taylor Delenti said, please give me the ball. She has it back from Maggie. Delenti drives on her defender into the low block, spins, needs an outlet, bounces it back to Maggie. Able to collect. Back to South. Now Delenti again. Shot fake as she's working on Garner. Over right side, Carson, who drives, clears out, puts it up and in. T.T. Carson. Upperman back in front. That's a grown man move by T.T. Carson.
Really move by T.T. Carson.
Here's Hallie Bailey. She'll bounce it over to Cox. Back to Bailey. Now swings it left side, Bremer. Upperman has played the 2-3 exclusively. It has really slowed down Alcoa after the first 4 minutes or so. Bremer back to Bailey. She's going to drive inside. Bailey bounces it over. Garner throws up the runner high off the glass and gets the friendly roll. Ronique Garner, she knows this gym. That was way off the glass. It fell through. Quickly ahead, here's Maggie. She'll drive, fires back South. Now she will let it fly. Can't hit. Carson takes the rebound. A fight for it. It's grabbed in the corner by Cox, and here comes Alcoa tied up at 22. Garner sends it over to Bailey. Bailey on the drive, forced to retreat. Phi right there, and now another bump call. Same official. T.T. Carson picks up her first, team second. If you're an offensive player and he's in your area, just go right at the defender. Just take it right at her. You're going to get the foul call.
Going to get a good whistle, it appears.
Bella Phi gives them good minutes. She'll check out, crouch back in here for the Lady Bees. Garner sends it over to Cox. Back out Garner. Now, turning around, here's a drive, left-hand lay. Maggie had to let her go, and Maddie Stewart gives Alcoa the lead at 24-22. Inbound to T.T. Carson as we seesaw back and forth. Heavyweight fight tonight. Maybe the best on-paper matchup in the sub-state round in Class 3A. Big collision and a charge. Sadie South called for the charge, is posted up under it was Hallie Bailey. We talked about her doing the little things. She gets the call there, and Dana McWilliams wants her second quick cash pawn timeout of the quarter. Upperman trails 24-22, turning into a rock fight here in the second.
Yeah, obviously the pace and the way the game's going wasn't in Upperman's favor there, so a little timeout and adjustment and see what we can kind of.
Thompson Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, your one-stop shop for our dirt machinery and aerial equipment needs. Located at their new facility at 4314 Academy Road in Cookeville. They're a Caterpillar dealer who rents, sells, service, and provide parts. For rental needs, call Lane at 931-267-6380. And to buy, call Lucas at 931-979-5050. Quick cash pawn timeout on the floor, 24-22. Alcoa leads by 2 over the Lady Bees. They led by 3 at the end of the first quarter. Upperman has led briefly by 2, and we have just kind of swung back and forth. It'll be Alcoa basketball after the charge call on Sadie South.
We're hoping coming out of halftime that Gracie Butler girl, if you've ever heard of her, can kind of be the key that kind of gets us back over the hump. Played a lot without her, which is a big deal for us as talking about personnel wise.
And for Upperman, they are making the decision to keep her out this entire second quarter. She picked up her second foul. You'd rather have a longer runway in the second half than risk her picking up her third and then really having to play kind of a little bit scared in the third quarter to not pick up her fourth. 24-22, Alcoa looking for a little bit of a run here to build momentum. Here's Bailey. Bailey sends it over to left side. A drive to the baseline. Maggie bodies her up, and they call a foul. The second on Maggie Butler. So each of the Butler twins have 2. And it'll send T.T. Carson to the table. That is a huge call, and I really don't know what you expect Maggie Butler to do in that situation. Hand straight up. She's squared up to the baseline. Offensive player makes contact, and they call her for a personal. Bailey to inbound here. Fires over the top to Bremer. Bremer bounces in. Turnaround jumper for Stewart. Can't hit. Rebound. Dalenti. Physical. Board steps through. And now ahead here comes Cassie Crouch. Crouch on the drive. Gives back south now to Phi, who's back in. Dalenti has it now. She'll toss it right side to the point guard, Cassie Crouch.
I would expect this to be a longer possession.
Crouch gives to Phi. Phi to T.T. Carson. Haven't seen this 5 in a rotation in a while, but the Butler twins out with 2 fouls apiece. Forces Dana McWilliams back to it. We saw it a lot early in the year. There's a pass. Should have been a foul. Dalenti on the drive, puts the shot up and a block.
Yep, right call.
It's absolutely the correct call as Bremer, this is a big one. It is her 3rd. Katie Bremer off the bench, the sophomore, now with 3 personals, and Taylor Dalenti to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line for 2. Sherry says in the comments, Austin, that is Sadie South's first ever charge call. That's probably right, as Dalenti hits the first. Wasn't a traditional charge. She had passed out already.
Correct.
Subs checking in. Bremer forced out here, as is Stewart for Alcoa. Dalenti trying to tie the game with 54 seconds to go in the first half. And she does. A welcome sight for Upperman. They've been good at the line so far in this game.
Free throws are much improved.
54 seconds. How will Alcoa treat this possession? I'd be surprised if they hold, given how their style is, but maybe they will.
I would have bet not.
Yeah, Upperman's probably cool with them holding here. Stinnett back in the game here with 2 fouls. Has it left side. She'll give back. Now around the world it goes into the corner for Bailey. Bailey, that's a travel. Kick out, now a drive inside. Shot up, and a foul is called. 2 free throws for Riley Flatt. A blatant travel goes uncalled, and Bella Phi called for her first. Rough first half for the officials. Gracie and Maggie to the table for an offensive possession. Upperman hoping for some misses out of a junior. Riley Flatt hit 2 threes in the first quarter, and now is on the board in the second. 7 total points. Carson and Phi check out for the Butler twins, and Upperman will be looking for 1 shot here if they can get it into the front court. Riley Flatt at the line. Flies and hits. 2 for 2. Free throws will be critical today. 26-24. Inbound goes to Gracie Butler. She'll give to Taylor Dalenti. 27 seconds for Dalenti as she'll bring it into the front court. Gives back to Crouch. Crouch gives over to Maggie. Upperman content to hold for 1 final look in a 2-point game. Back to Crouch. Now they'll go. Dalenti. Everybody activates. Over to Maggie. Fires in, off the mark. Was looking for Gracie, who took a tumble, and 3.9 for Alcoa to get a look. Carson and Phi back to the table for the Butler twins. And Dana McWilliams is not happy with the stripes at all, and you understand why if you've watched this first half of basketball. It has been poor. Inbound here with a head of steam comes Harper
No
Stinnett.
clock started.
The clock started way late. Stinnett off the dribble, lines up the 3, and rains it home.
That was very atrocious by the
They got 3 extra seconds. The clock did not start. And the officials are going to talk about it, and they won't change it at all as Harper Stinnett rained home the 3. The clock did not start for a long time. She was in the front court before the clock started. That is really poor by a crew that had a really poor half, and a big shot for Harper Stinnett as it's 29-24. Dana McWilliams is understandably livid about it because that is a really, really, really poor job by this crew. But Harper Stinnett hits a big-time shot late in the half. It's 29-24. We'll step aside, come back with a Happy Hiller halftime show. Lady Bees down 5. Coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Looking for weekend lunch and dinner plans? Since 1971, Nick's Restaurant has been locally owned and operated. From mouth-watering prime rib to delectable ice cream pie, Nick's has it all. Their cozy atmosphere and great service will make you feel right at home. Plus, their banquet space is perfect for any event. Visit them at 895 South Jefferson Avenue or online at nickscookville.com. Nick's Restaurant is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. The Real Estate Collective is a team of experienced, licensed real estate agents serving the entire Upper Cumberland region. Whether you are looking to buy or sell, the RICO team is ready to serve you. With a focus on people over profits, you can rest assured the Real Estate Collective can help make your real estate dreams a reality. Call 931-559-9500 for more information or see their current listings at letsgorico.com. The Real Estate Collective is proud to support student athletes in our area and this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Watson Chevrolet is proud to present the area's best selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Watson Chevy's staff of experts are ready to get you into your next vehicle with unmatched service and knowledge. Stop in at 2350 Cookville Highway and get your vehicle serviced by their highly trained professionals. Right now, you can save money on oil changes, regular maintenance, and battery installation. And remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Watson Chevy is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the UCR Media Network.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan. Oh, come on, ref! That's simple human sense.
SwallowsInsurance.com or call us today, 931-526-4025. Protecting your future. It's what we do. Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Upperman football on UCR. Located at 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookville, Gentry's Power Equipment is your local steel dealer. With a huge selection of outdoor power equipment, including chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, mowers, pressure washers, and more. They are your local one-stop shop for high-quality equipment. Locally owned and operated, Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to support Upperman Athletics and UCR. Are you looking for the best dining experience in the Upper Cumberland? Visit Fire and Vine in Cookville's historic West Side. Fire and Vine offers great service and a unique menu, including mouth-watering deep dish pizza, delectable beef, chicken, fish, and more. Take in stunning views from the rooftop while enjoying your meal. Come and experience the charm and flavor of Fire and Vine, your new favorite spot for a memorable dining experience. Fire and Vine is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
It's time for the Happy Hiller halftime show. Visit happyhiller.com to see how our friends at Hiller can help solve your plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical problems today. It's happyhiller.com. Alcoa leads Upperman 29-24. Just an unacceptably atrocious sequence by the officials, who first of all have been terrible tonight, but secondly, clock does not run for a good 2.5 seconds after Harper Stinnett touched the basketball, brought it all the way into the front court, and in 3 seconds was able to take multiple dribbles, got to a good spot, stepped up, hit a big shot. No doubt about it. The freshman hit a big-time shot that should have been waved off, and that is a huge momentum sequence as it gives Alcoa a 5-point lead as opposed to a 2-point lead into the halftime locker room. It immediately followed a sequence where no foul was called when Gracie Butler was held flashing off a screen. Upperman playing a little 5-on-8 tonight. They're going to need their best in their second half to have a chance in this one. Let's get to the scoring from that first half. First for Upperman, 9 points for Maggie Butler, 6 for Sadie South, 4 for Taylor Delente, 3 for Gracie Butler, and 2 for T.T. Carson. for the Alcoa Lady Tornadoes. It was 8 for Riley Flatt, including 2 3-pointers early in the game. 7 for Harper Stinnett, including that 3 that should have been waved off. 6 for Gwen Carroll, 2 for Ronique Garner and Hallie Bailey, and 4 for Maddie Stewart. And yes, we did stop watch it in the break with the YouTube feed, and it was way late. Way late.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's maybe that's the benefit of hosting a home sub-state game. I don't know. But that's a big swing in a game that's been a possession battle back and forth that impacts the way it's played quite a bit.
Well, this is one sub-state game. It's going to be a great second half. We've got another sub-state game coming up on Monday night. Austin's going to be on the bench with the Bees as they welcome in the Red Bank Lions. 7 o'clock Central Time tip-off will be there with all the action right back here on UCR. Austin, you got a chance to look at this Red Bank team. What kind of challenge awaits the Bees on Monday night?
Obviously, if you've kind of kept up with them or watched them at all, super athletic. They got 5 kids that can score the basketball. A lot of good guards. They're definitely a really good team. They're well coached. Coach Fight does a good job. And they've been battle tested. They've played a lot of good teams in that area, and they'll be ready for the challenge. It should be a fun one.
That game tips off at 7. We'll be there with all the action. Live on the main UCR Facebook page, YouTube channel, and FHS Network. We will also have coverage of Pickett County out south Pittsburgh and the Cookeville Cavaliers. How about in the sub-state round in Coach Hill's second season? They're at Beach to take on Baby Jokic and Cutter Sisk and company. All games tipping off at 7 o'clock on Monday night. They're getting rolling elsewhere. Both broadcast are live with timers on UCR2. It's Cookeville and Green Hill. On UCR3, it's White County Heritage. Cookeville will be brought to you by Jacob Benson. White County and Heritage by Craig Cantrell and Jeremy Tollison. As Alcoa has hit the floor, and so have the Stripes. It was bad in the first half. Hopefully better in the second, as all anybody wants is for them to give the girls a chance to decide who wins the basketball game. We'll have the third quarter for you on the other side. Upperman trails by 5, trying to make it 8 trips to state in the last 11 seasons. They'll have to come back to do it on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Mayberry's Furniture has been family-owned and operated since 1946 and is now serving the Upper Cumberland with locations in both Crossville and Cookeville, offering the largest array of solid wood furniture and mattresses in the area. They also provide a best price guarantee and in-house service and delivery. Stop into their 15,000 square foot showroom at 1020 South Willow Avenue in Cookeville to see their selection of Amish solid wood, flex steel, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy Posturepedic, and much more today. Mayberry's Furniture is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the high school football game of the week on the UCR Media Network. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate proudly presents this brand new construction on the Caney Fork River in Sparta. This home sits on 1.6 acres with 190 feet of river frontage and boasts 2,300 square feet of living space with a spacious 2-car garage. Enjoy the river views from your beautiful expanded covered porch. For more information, visit chadandamycrouch.com or call 931-979-1191. The Crouch team with Highlands Elite Real Estate is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Livingston Regional Hospital is Livingston's hometown hospital. Located at 315 Oak Street, Livingston Regional Hospital provides compassionate quality care for all patients from local people you can trust, so you can count on them to treat you like family. Their excellent staff offers years of experience and training to meet the needs of all patients. They understand the importance of providing care in a professional and comforting manner. They're proud to partner with Livingston Academy Athletics through the LRH Sports Medicine team. Livingston Regional Hospital is a proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
29-24, Alcoa leads Upperman after a huge sequence at the end of the first half. But still 16 minutes of game time to go in a 2-score game. Austin, what's the mindset here for the Lady Bees in the second half as they get Gracie Butler back on the floor?
A lot of the same, right? They were in a really good spot, had a couple inch possessions to finish the half, and then obviously adding Gracie back to it should be a little factor for us and also for Alcoa.
It's going to be Alcoa basketball. They'll work right to left, Upperman left to right. And in case you were wondering, they're going to be back in the 2-3. Alcoa had a ferocious start offensively, then was slowed down significantly. Got a big sequence at the end of the first half to get up to 29. Upperman wants this game to be in the 40s, not in the 50s or higher. Alcoa Feels like if they're into the 50s, they're going to the state tournament. As Hallie Bailey will get things underway. Big opening possession. Harper Stinnett, the impressive freshman, dumps it over right side. Now she'll hand off. It's grabbed by Flat. Flat dumps into Stewart. Turns around, open in the mid-range. Can't hit. Rebound down. Gracie Butler with it. And here comes Upperman again. Butler shields off the defender. Carroll into the front court. Now drives, jumps it over to Delenti. Back to Maggie Butler. Thought about the three. Instead will drive, sends it over to Crouch. Cassie goes to the baseline in the low block. Fires an errant pass. Sadie South can't save it. And it's a backcourt violation. Upperman gives it back. Kevin, it was not close in real time. We went and timed it. It was nowhere near close in real time. That's what we aren't going to have as revisionist history. It was nowhere near close. Clock didn't run until she hit the timeline, buddy. Pass right side. Here's Carroll. Dumps it over now inside. Little head fake. Stewart tries to step around. Fires it across the paint. And the third foul on Gracie Butler as she caught Harper Stinnett. Gracie's been in foul trouble this entire game. We'll see if she comes back out here as Stinnett's at the line for two with 7:13 to go in the third quarter. First one for Stinnett is good. She has 8. I told you, she's going to be a Miss Basketball type of player here at Alcoa. There's no doubt about it. Got every skill set that you want. She can shoot it from deep. Gets inside there, gets to the line where she hits the first and the second. And Alcoa has its largest lead, ahead by 7. Upperman has faced lots of deficits as that one's tipped out of bounds by Bailey. It'll go to the Lady Bees. They face larger deficits than this, erased them. Obviously, it gets tough on the road here in a sub-state game and a very tough place to inbound from here from the corner for Taylor Delenti. She gets it to Crouch, who's fouled. Bailey with the personal. That is her first, team's first. And the reality is it'll be a microscope on the stripes from here on out. That's the nature of the beast already in games like this, but especially with how it's gone. As that pass was tipped again, Alcoa ratcheting it up. Upperman was pretty good against this full court pressure early, but Alcoa trying to roll downhill and separate on their home floor. Delenti to inbound. Gracie says, I got it. She does. Gives it over to Crouch. Now they get into the front court. Crouch sizes up Bailey. Gracie gives her a screen. Now right side Maggie. Maggie on the cross, back to Delenti. Thought about it, instead will drive. Delenti back to Maggie. Maggie lowers the shoulder, forced to retreat. She'll send it back to Crouch. And this is what Upperman wants. They want to bleed the clock a little bit, force long defensive possessions. They got a little bit out of that in the first half, as Maggie looking for Gracie again, and again held, and again no call. Possession back to Alcoa.
Away from the ball, it's pretty much virtually nothing. It's free game.
Upperman shows their 2-2-1 full court pressure here. Trying to slow down this Lady Tornadoes team as Bella Fi goes to the table. They break it nicely. Pass over left side. 3 on the way. That one's no good. It's got to be a foul on Alcoa. It is. I mean, hooked her around the arm. Gwen Carroll called for her first, team second.
Upperman needing a big possession here to get a basket and sort of stop the bleeding, get everybody back under control.
James on YouTube asked, it is a Alcoa scoreboard operator running the clock. Inbound to Maggie Butler. I'm just answering the question. Maggie ahead. Upperman has not scored yet in the second half. Alcoa has 2 at the free throw line. Led by 2 at the end of the first, 5 at halftime, 7 now. Maggie has it here, gives to 5. Now Delenti. Defender falls for Alcoa. She's okay. Maggie has it now. Now left side Cassie. Back to Delenti. Just passing it around the perimeter right now. Here's Fi. Back to Delenti. Catches it with one arm. She'll drive. Has it poked, and a foul. This is a big one. Harper Stinnett, I believe, just got her third. She did. So both Gracie Butler and Harper Stinnett each have 3. It's the team's third. Delenti to inbound from the baseline here. Where's she going? She tried to get away to say where this inbound's going to be. She'll fire it into Maggie, throws it up. Good, tough, finish.
Really good pass and finish.
Maggie Butler, first lady being in double figures. It's back to a 5-point game. It's amazing. They're slow on everything. The clock still hasn't updated the score. Now in the front court, step it back. Here's Bailey on the drive, kicks into the corner. Stinnett, good closeout. She'll drive, slams the brakes, fires it back out. Flat, now on left side, Carroll for 3. No, Delenti, great box out the rebound. Hacked, we play on. Delenti, outlet feed to South again. Sadie drives in, throws it up. No, Delenti crashes in but couldn't get the rebound clean. And it'll go back to Alcoa with 5:18 to go in the third quarter. And it looks like Harper Stinnett with 3 fouls is going to get a breather as J.C. Cox will check in. Somebody tell my friend Mickey in the comments that if her sound's not working, to back out the stream and come back and it'll be there. It's working. Sometimes Facebook has a glitch like that. Here's a drive as Maggie bodies up. Fall-away jumper good. Tough finish for Maddie Stewart. First field goal for Alcoa. They're back ahead by 7. 5 to go in the third quarter. Here's Bella Fye with it for the Lady Bees as Gracie Butler, despite 3 fouls, is back at the table. It's go time for Upperman. They're going to need some offense. Crouch gives left side to Fye. The pace is good, but the scoring's not there for Upperman. South to Delenti. Passes up the 3, will drive and kick to Maggie. Maggie barrels in, sends back South. South with the touch pass low. Fye bobbles and gathers. Back to Maggie. Another long possession. Fye activates out of the corner. Drives baseline, throws it up. No call again. Rebound down. Here comes Carroll in transition. Pulls up, and she's hit on the arm by Fye. And this will be 2 free throws for Gwen Carroll. Bella Fye picks up her second. And I believe Dana McWilliams wants a quick cash pawn timeout on the floor. She does. It'll be her third, a 30-second timeout. Gentry's Power Equipment, your hometown steel and Exmark dealer, located on 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville. Go get yourself a brand new steel or Exmark machine. They're also jam-packed weed eaters, chainsaws, trimmers, leaf blowers, and more. If you need parts or service, go visit them in their service department as well. Gentry's Power Equipment. The pace is slowed significantly, but Alcoa is okay with that because they lead 33-26, middle of the third quarter here. Third quick cash pawn timeout on the floor by Dana McWilliams.
Still a lot of time left in the game, obviously. You just got to get it kind of going the right direction for Upperman. You can't let it get to, can't let it leak from 7-point game to a 12, 14-point game.
And it could get to 9 as Gwen Carroll is 1 for 2 at the line. She'll go back to the stripe for 2 here with 4:23 to go in the third. An Upperman team that's been battle-tested all season. They're in another big fight here on the road. Going to need a second-half comeback to extend their season. First one for Carroll is no good. The ice the kicker worked by Dana McWilliams. Carroll's the only Lady Tornado to miss a free throw in this game. And she gets the friendly shooter's roll on the second. 8-point lead, largest of the game for Alcoa. Upperman's largest lead was 2. Delenti gives over to Crouch. Delenti now to Gracie. Cox in front of her defensively. Gracie gives to Maggie. Now hand off Gracie. She barrels inside, touches it back to South. South to Maggie. Maggie sizes up the defender. The Alcoa students don't like the long possessions, but Upperman does not care. Delenti has it here. Works over a Maggie screen, drives and kicks Gracie. Doesn't shoot many. The 3 is good. Gracie Butler with a big time. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate 3.
Really big shot. Got to get a little momentum swing here.
5-point game. That thing almost hit the rafters on his way back through. Here's Flat. Alcoa looking for an answer. Skip past Cox. Cox bounces back. Bailey. Pass nearly intercepted. Gracie got a hand on it. It's loose. She dives on the hardwood. Saves it back to Cassie. A turnover forced by Gracie Butler. Here's Crouch into the front court. Upperman with a little life. Right side Maggie. Need a bucket here. Put it on. Delenti. Open. 3. No. Spins out. Rebound down flat. Pardon me. Bailey. Here comes Bailey with a head of steam. She'll drive. Collision. And they call a foul. They're going to get Maggie Butler on her third. So each Butler has 3. Crouch and Fye have 2. And this is 2 free throws for Hallie Bailey, who just drove in uncontrolled but gets rewarded with a trip to the line. T.T. Carson to the table to check in.
They signaled inbounds under. I don't know what they thought she was doing, but they signaled inbounds under.
Holy smokes. Baseline inbound coming for Alcoa. But to be fair, Austin, they don't know what they're doing. 34-29. Now a shot up, no good. Maggie on the rebound, now an outlet feed. All alone again, Sadie South, 1 dribble, lay good. Upperman's within a possession. It's 34-31. Sadie South on the 2 again. She has 8 in the game. Quickly ahead into the corner. Now a drive down the baseline. Good defense by Delenti. Pass tipped. It's a foot race. South has it. Saves to Corson. Here come the Lady Bees again, trying to tie or get within 1 on this possession. Sadie South says, I want the ball. Carson has it outside. Crouch. Fake the back cut. Brings it back out. Bremer trying to stay in front. South gives to Delenti. 5 straight for the Lady Bees. South Comes out of her break. Fires in all alone. Maggie Butler, 1-point game.
Really good play action there.
Timeout, Alcoa. The Lady Bees with a 7-0 burst. It's 34-33, and it came after the quick cash pawn timeout by the GOAT, Dana Mack. And it is a full 60-second timeout on the floor for the Lady Tornadoes.
Finally a little life out of the Upperman side. That was a really good play possession there. Little pin down action and got the late switch. Sadie recognized it, got the easy 2.
That is a huge sequence for Upperman. It started with the 3 by Gracie Butler. She's only taken, I believe it's 36 this year. She hits 22% of them, but she nearly touched the roof with it. It ran through, and that gave them a little bit of swagger. Now you're back in a dogfight again. It's not like you're winning and rolling away with it, but you got to hunker down. You got 10 minutes to try and save your season, but you're back within 1.
Kids like Gracie, you get in games like this, they just make plays and make big shots. And so that got us a little spark here, and hopefully we can keep it rolling. This will be a big end of the the last 2 minutes of the third quarter here.
It's going to be Alcoa basketball here, inbounding from the baseline. And Upperman has been in the 2-2-1, and all of a sudden they started to force turnovers really for the first time tonight. Back-to-back trips with turnovers for Alcoa has led to 7 consecutive for the Lady Bees. Bailey trying to survey. She'll toss it back over to Bremer. Katie Bremer into the front court. Uncontested. Pulls up from the elbow. May have been partially blocked. Delenti on the rebound. Upperman basketball trying to regain the lead.
Layup.
All alone. Sadie South again puts it up, and it wedged. The arrow belongs to Upperman. She had pressure from behind. It's not an easy layup, but it wedged in. Where's Ty Combat to go knock it down? And Gracie Butler's going to return to the table. 2 minutes to go in the third. Upperman's defense, this 2-2-1, has been a good switch by this coaching staff, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with Alcoa kind of putting the pressure on them, with kind of getting away from them a little bit and kind of forced your hand a little bit in adjustment, it's really worked out and created some easy offense.
It'll be a baseline inbound. Upperman got a good layup the last time they had one of these. Official pulls Delenti a little bit further out. Alcoa's trying to deny that action to the weak side as Delenti gets it anyway. Right to Crouch, puts it up, can't get it to go. She barreled in, a foul on Taylor Delenti for a push. It will be the first on Delenti somehow. Third team foul, I believe, against Upperman in this game. Make it the 4th on the Lady Bees. 1:57 to go in the third. Alcoa gets a stop. First time in a while they've done that. They've gone cold offensively as Gracie's got to be careful, playing with 3 fouls. Bailey has it here. Eyes up against the pressure. It'll drop back into the zone for Upperman. The pace is Upperman's pace right now. Outside Bailey. Spins it back left side. Now to the elbow. Long 2. Tough shot. Riley Flatt goes into double figures. The first Tornado to do so in this game. It's 36-33, a 3-point game late. Alcoa's been good late in quarters. They got an assist at the end of the second. Here's Gracie Butler. Gives over to Crouch. Cassie with it here, top of the circle. Surveys against that Alcoa maroon logo at midcourt. Pass was tipped and now intercepted by Bailey. She gets the steal. Ahead to Cox running the floor. Cox shoulders in, and they will call Cassie Crouch for her 3rd personal. And this will be 2 free throws for J.C. Cox, the junior, her first trip to the line tonight. T.T. Carson to the table, and Upperman trying to erase these deficits. Can't get turnover happy. They give it away there, and it could lead to 2. We'll see if Cox can capitalize.
Big play by Cox, the steal here, and then obviously Cox kind of throws her body into it, gets to the line, gets too easy.
First one is good for Cox. It's back to a 4-point game, 3 unanswered now for Alcoa. Pivotal 1 minute and 9 second upcoming. Here's the next one for Cox is no good. Rebound tip, no push. Maggie has the board. She'll give over to Delenti, who will bring it up. Upperman still within 4. 1 minute to go in the third. 9 minutes to go in somebody's season, unless we get free basketball. Carson drives the lane. Carson spins back, and a foul is called. This will be 2 free throws for T.T. Carson. And again, they were late stopping the clock, by the way. Just a little aside. That's the 5th team foul. And they got that foul, I believe, on Carroll, which is her 2nd, team's 4th. This is 5 fouls. It should be 2 free throws for T.T. Carson. It is 5 fouls.
They don't have it as 5.
They have changed it back to 4. Delenti to inbound from the baseline instead. Should just go over the top to Gracie Butler. Another break, a miracle at the scorer's table for Alcoa. Here's Bella Fye. Hands to Maggie Butler. Maggie to Gracie around the world. Gracie goes around Cox, kicks to Delenti. Open, corner. No, rebound down, just inbounds. A good board for Garner. Now with a head of steam, spinning back out of danger is Bremer. 27 seconds to go in the third. It's a 4-point game. Alcoa looks like they're going to hold for one shot potentially here. Allie Bailey has it. Upperman was down as many as 8. This is a big possession to try and get a stop. 10 seconds for Bailey right side. Off a screen, she'll bounce back. Bremer traveled. She took a step and jumped into it. It'll be Lady B basketball with 6 seconds to go. Plenty of time to get down the floor for a look. See how Alcoa defends this here. Delenti gives to Gracie Butler with a running start. 4 seconds for Gracie. Gets to the spot, puts it up. No, rebound fought for, grabbed by Garner. Ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready. After 3, it's Alcoa 37, Upperman 33. Coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Watson Chevy UCR Media Network.
Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Upperman Football on UCR. Located at 755 Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville, Gentry's Power Equipment is your local steel dealer. With a huge selection of outdoor power equipment, including chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, mowers, pressure washers, and more. They are your local one-stop shop for high-quality equipment. Locally owned and operated, Gentry's Power Equipment is proud to support Upperman Athletics and UCR. Box Drop Cookeville is the easiest way to buy an affordable mattress, specializing in clearance and closeouts directly from the manufacturers. They're able to pass huge savings on to you. Make an appointment to see their warehouse full of selections including big-name hybrid and memory foam alongside traditional springs that are among some of the coolest to touch mattresses on the market. Call Brandon Lane at 931-349-7066 to make your appointment today. Box Drop Cookeville has been proud to serve Cookeville since 2018.
1 quarter to go. The trip to the Class 3A state tournament on the line. Upperman trails Alcoa 37-33. Noah McKay, Austin McWilliams, Madison McKay in the Upper Cumberland Generators broadcast booth. Lady Bees trail by as many as 8, cut it to 1. Alcoa has scored 3 straight entering this frame as Hallie Bailey has it here for the Lady Tornado. She'll send it left side. Harper Stinnett drives, throws a runner up. Tough look, no. Rebound tipped. Fought for a whistle. And they'll say, I think Gracie Butler was out of bounds when she touched the ball, so it'll stay with Alcoa. TT Carson back at the table. We told you she's going to have a chance to play a lot tonight. She's going to play a lot on defense as Gracie Butler has 3 fouls and will check out. 7:41 to go in the game. Still a 4-point gap. Big collision inside. A Lady Tornado hits the hardwood. They'll kick it back out. Here's Flash. She's had a big game, has 10 points leading the way. Gives over to Bailey. Bailey drives top of the key, now back out. Right side Stinnett. Stinnett to Bailey. Now left side Flat. Flat drives into the low block. Way too strong on the shot. It's knocked out of bounds, and it'll go to the Lady Bees who get the stop. Long possession ends with Upperman basketball. Delenti to inbound here. Gives it to Bella Fye. Fye, who is also giving them really good minutes tonight. Will it be enough? Over to Maggie Butler. Upperman needs to hit one of these open shots. Maggie gets to the spot, blocked. Great play defensively by Maddie Stewart. Here comes Alcoa looking to push the pace for the first time in a while. Bailey drives in, throws the shot up, can't hit. Great defense by Maggie Butler. Carson has the rebound. Bailey flies in front. She'll keep it over to Delenti. 6:55 to go, and you see the deliberate pace Upperman's going with despite trailing. It seems backwards. Alcoa's going faster than Upperman is, but that's on purpose. Fye to Maggie. A lot of action. South pops free. Ball up to Maggie. Maggie again drives. Kicks back South. Now into Fye. Fye, one dribble and a foul. Bella Fye to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line. Good action for the Lady Bees. 6:32 to go in the game. They're within 4 in a high-pressure moment.
Talked about these early before we started. These free throws are going to be down the stretch for both teams. Going to be an important part.
Maddie Stewart called for her second. The sophomore, biggest moments of her career. And she hits the first. First points of the quarter go to the Lady Bees. They're within a score again. Each one of these is critical. Next one. No good, too strong. Stewart has the rebound. But Phi did half the job there. Got it to 37-34. Now Phi comes flying in against Stinnett, who dumps it over to Stewart. Into the corner it goes. Flat on the drive. Back Stewart. Pulls up in the mid-range and hits. Great half-court offense for Alcoa as Maddie Stewart stretches it back to a 5-point game. Phi dangerous pass, and it's thrown out of bounds. Possession goes back the other way. Gracie Butler, Cassie Crouch to the table to check in as Alcoa wants to capitalize on this momentum. Their crowd is feeling it, stomping their feet. It's on the Lady Bees to get a stop.
Big possession in the game.
Stinnett has it here. Upperman in their 2-2-1. It's had success. Flat back to Bailey. Bailey ahead into the front court. Alcoa playing at home. It's their 5th straight sub-state appearance. They've only won 1 in that time. Lost their last 3 all at McMinn Central. As this one's tipped out of bounds, it'll stay with Alcoa. 5:55 to go in regulation. Inbound here, Stewart. She'll hand off behind the back to Stinnett. Stinnett tries to clear. Help arrive. She'll dump it over to Bailey. Bailey drives back to Stinnett. Throws it up wildly. No, Maggie with a rebound, and she's fouled. Into the back went Stewart. That'll be her 3rd. Team 2nd. Good defensive possession for Upperman. 5:40 to go, trailing by 5.
Need to find a way to capitalize here on offense.
Inbound goes to Crouch. She'll slam the brakes as Bailey goes by. Bailey just a menace on the ball. Cassie taking her to school a little bit. She'll get it ahead to Delenti. Delenti, eyes up. Now back Gracie. Upperman needs a bucket here. Settle back in. Back to Cassie. Crouch brings it around. Crouch dumps to Maggie. Now Gracie with a head of steam. Sizes up Stewart. Drives, blocked again. Maddie Stewart keeps swatting things away. A dangerous feed into the front court finds the target. Stinnett, 4-3, no. Rebound down, second chance on its way, no. Stinnett punches it up and got a call. Maggie Butler going to be called for her 4th. It's huge. Harper Stinnett back to the line for 2. Upperman got a rebound better than that. 4:58 to go in the ball game. Stinnett can stretch it back to 7. Gentry's Power Equipment, your hometown steel and Exmark dealer, and they're the presenting sponsor of tonight's game. We hope they're the presenting sponsor in the state tournament, but Upperman's going to have to change some things here as Stinnett hits the first. She now has 10. She's 3 for 3 at the line in the second half, 5 for 5 in total. Finally, a miss rebound tip. Maggie has it. Still a 2-score game. Plenty of time, but Upperman's got to find some offense as Crouch into the front court gives to South. She'll drive. Maggie lines up the 3. Can't hit, wide right. Another empty trip. Long scoreless drought for Upperman. Just 1 point in the quarter. Their defense is keeping them in it as Alcoa only has 3 in the frame. Stinnett right side as South steps up. The Butler twins are both in foul trouble. Maggie has 4, Gracie has 3. Pass back left side, Briley Flat. Flat. Back and forth she goes with Bailey. Now into the corner. 3 ball on the way, good. Gwen Carroll from downtown. It's her first since the first quarter, and Alcoa has its largest lead, ahead by 9 at 43-34. Lady Bees in some trouble now. A quick cash pawn timeout. Alcoa bides its time and gets the open 3. They made no mistake. They've made their open looks tonight. Upperman has not.
They've played really well. They've shot it well from perimeter, high post area, extra points, around the rim on the offensive rebounding. Some of that stuff you need to limit. Obviously, they've done a good job. Needs a big push here by Upperman early to get it in closer, this next minute and a half stretch.
Still time. Certainly 9 points not insurmountable, but this one's rolling the wrong direction for the Lady Bees, trailing 43-34 with 4:14 to play. They are live on the SK Creations scoreboard with White County and Heritage over on UCR 3 and Cookeville against Green Hill on UCR 2. How many Upper Cumberland teams are going to the state tournament? Upperman trying to be the first. It would take some dramatics. What kind of rabbit does Dana McWilliams have in the bag over there? Delenti to inbound. She'll bounce it into Maggie Butler. She's fouled. They don't call it. It goes to Stewart. She'll toss it back. Stinnett on the drive. Dumps over to Stewart. Throws it up. Missed everything. And a break for Upperman as they'll get it back with 4:06 to go in the ball game. The turnovers mounting. Upperman does not have a field goal in this half, or in this quarter rather. Delenti to inbound. Fires in to Crouch. Crouch with Bailey there. She'll give back over for T.T. Carson. Carson has a speed mismatch, but not a size mismatch. She'll go to work. Carson picks up, floats it back to Crouch. 3:50 to go in the ball game. Upperman trails by 9. Delenti into the belly, catches. Now a back cut to Crouch. She's blocked, but a foul. Allie Bailey commits the personal, and this will be 2 free throws for Cassie Crouch, needing them both. The second on Bailey, third team foul on the Lady Tornadoes.
Make both of these, give yourself a chance to set up your press.
And nowhere close. Crouch missed the first, and it is not a one-person issue. The entire team has really struggled at the line down the stretch of the regular season and into the postseason. Crouch's next one gets the friendly roll, so she splits it. That's the first point tonight for Cassie, who's having a great year. 8-point game again. Alcoa is not bleeding the clock at all, and it'll work. That's a tie-up and a jump. It's a travel. Even better. Possession back to Upperman. She just barreled in. Not sure what Flat was doing. And Upperman says, thank you very much. The more Alcoa wants to go fast now, advantage to the team that's behind, because it's going to give them an opportunity at more possessions.
Seems like Alcoa is a team that really doesn't have an off switch. So
Maggie gives back to T.T. Carson, who's got to get it into the front court. She does. Now Crouch has it. This guy to our left is insufferable. Holy smokes. Collisions everywhere, no call. Delenti has it. Gives back to Carson. Carson surveys back to Crouch. 8-point game, 3:12 to go. South thought about the deep one, instead gives to Carson. She'll drive. Carson shoulders, puts it up. Didn't go, but a foul. 2 free throws for T.T. Carson at the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line. 3:05 to go, trying to cut it to 6. They'll get this one on Briley Flat. It's her first. Team's fourth. Hit like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel or follow the page. Another miss for Upperman. No good off the heel. That's 3 points left on the board in this quarter so far. 3 different players at the line as Gracie Butler checks in for Crouch. Again, Maggie's still out there with 4 fouls. Gracie has 3. Next one for Carson. Oh my goodness, was halfway down and popped out. Nothing going right for Upperman. Down to 3 minutes to go by 8. Bailey against the press. Dangerous pass tipped by Carson. Collision play on. Now numbers for Alcoa. Bremer going to slow it down. Kicks it into the corner. 3 on the way. The dagger is good. Glenn Carroll just hit the shot to likely send Alcoa to Murfreesboro. They lead by 11. It's their largest. Here's Gracie Butler in the front court. Now Delenti going to line up the 3. Can't hit. That's the story of the game. Alcoa has made their open shots. Upperman has not. 2:30 to go. Time running out on the Lady Bees this season. And now a slice, losing handle. Carson dives. It's knocked out of bounds, and it'll go to Alcoa. They have swallowed the whistles here late. And unfortunately, it looks like the Lady Tornado is down and injured after hitting the hardwood there, fighting for it. I think she's okay, making her way back to her feet. And it is the very impressive freshman Harper Stinnett. I think they're going to sub her out. They will. Riley Flat checks in. .2:19 to go in the ball game. Upperman down 11. They're in full court press desperation time as Bremer has it.
Got away with the wall.
Spins inside. Kick out left side. Now back over. Bailey floats back. Crosses over. Looks like Stinnett is okay. Good to see. She's a special young lady, special player. Pass left side. Now Alcoa is content to bleed it. Upperman's going to have to foul if they want a chance. Bremer brings it back out. Now bounces, and Maggie reaches in. She gets the tie-up. A great play by Maggie Butler. The arrow belongs to Upperman. And the Alcoa fans complaining about the officials is freaking hilarious. 1:49 to go. Possession back to the Lady Bees, down 11. Crouch to the table to check in. Delenti to inbound from the spot. She's got to throw it. Nope, 5-second violation. Possession back the other way to Alcoa. They've been flirting with it for a while. Delenti says it wasn't 5 seconds. I'll tell you in just a moment. But it will be Alcoa basketball inbounding from the baseline here. As TT Carson checks back in. Time running out on the Lady Bees. It was about 5 seconds on the inbound, and an offensive foul. They finally called it. Possession back to Upperman on the 15th foul against Alcoa on the clip screen across.
Got to have a basket really quickly.
Flat commits her second, team's 5th. 1:49 to go. Again, just trying to get the inbound first. Delenti fires it to Gracie Butler. Butler turns, and now the Amtrak drives and is fouled. This will be 2 free throws for the Lady Bees. Gwen Carroll commits her 3rd. Gracie Butler to the Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate free throw line for 2. Down 11 with 1:44 to go. They got to make them. Not sure Upperman realizes that it's free throws. Now they do. Gracie Butler at the line. Upperman has missed 4 free throws in this 4th quarter already. And some of those were back when it was pretty tight. Gracie hits the first. It's back to a 10-point game. This one would be one of the bigger miracles we've seen on UCR if Upperman finds a way to get back in this. As Harper Stinnett gets an ovation, she's back in after taking that fall. And Stewart will check out. They're going to get their best free throw shooters and ball handlers on the floor as Alcoa tries to extend their great season into the state tournament. Gracie's next is no good. 5th missed free throw of the quarter for Upperman, a 10-point game. Now Flat gives back to Bailey. Bailey turns the corner. Now retreats, and a foul is called on Carson. This is just the 2nd team foul on Upperman. They're going to have to foul a lot in a hurry. Carson picks up her 2nd. Bella Fye will check in. Fye has 2 fouls. Maggie Butler has 4. She'll check in as they'll try to force turnovers again, down 10 with 1:35 to go. Sideline inbound may be coming. That's 5 seconds.
Yep.
They got it. A 5-second violation the other way. Same official, give him credit. He called them both. Possession back to Upperman as Crouch and Maggie go to the table. 1:35 to go. A quick shot here, and it could get interesting again. Delenti to inbound from the sideline again. She'll just toss it ahead to Gracie Butler. Upperman's got to have some urgency in the half-court offense. Here's Crouch. Gives to South. Now Delenti. South flares back. Not enough space. Gives to Maggie. Now Gracie. Delenti's open. She has it. Lines it up. Can't hit again. Rebound down to Harper Stinnett. Upperman has had the look she'd want if you're a Lady B fan, as Maggie Butler is called for her 5th. This is now the end of her day. Maggie Butler, one of the more interesting careers in Baxter. Didn't play as a freshman, as a sophomore, was going to be a starter, tore ACL, checked in last year, and then the starting lineup made a big role. And how about the development in her senior season she's had? Her day is done, down 10 with 1:10 to go. Bremer inbounds into the backcourt. Bailey. Carson's going to have to foul. They'll bring the trap. Bailey gets around. So much speed for this Alcoa team. Now a cut down the baseline. Dangerous pass and a steal for Sadie South. She saves it into Delenti. Here comes Upperman, down 10, 1 minute to go. Delenti. Step through, Euro, finger roll, no rebound. She has it. Delenti playing extremely hard, as you would expect. And they'll call a jump. She is out of bounds holding that basketball.
Yep.
Possession goes back the other way. 47.3, 46-36 our score. Alcoa has made big shot after big shot in the 4th quarter. Take away any controversy when you do that, and when you miss free throws on the other end, you can't complain at that point. If it's a 2-point game, you can complain. Not when the 4th quarter has gone the way this one goes, as Carson commits the foul. It's her 4th. It's a legitimate complaint, but you've got to give credit. Stepping out, Gwen Carroll in the corner, rained home 2 huge threes in this quarter. They've maintained possession, survived some turnovers, and Upperman hasn't converted at the stripe. No field goals in the quarter, and they are 3 for 7 at the line. And there's another foul as Carson puts hands on the Bailey. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Alcoa did a really good job adjustment at halftime to being able to kind of figure out how they wanted to guard as well. We've had a really hard time offensively trying to get buckets.
This is an Alcoa team we We knew when the new alignments got revealed before the year that this sub-state matchup, which had been pretty easy, if we're being honest, for 3A teams, became more difficult last year with Heritage and became exponentially more difficult with Alcoa and this group of girls, as the first free throw is good for Bailey. And that's lived out. We'll see how close it is between White County and Heritage. Could be a good game over on UCR3 with Craig and Jeremy on the call. This is a talented basketball team. They won their region. That's why region championship games are also very important. A tough matchup and a great environment tonight as the next free throw is no good. Maggie has the rebound quickly ahead to Gracie. Gracie just going to drive inside, shoulders in, and that's a charge. Gracie Butler called for her fourth possession the other way. And that's the correct call with 26.5 seconds to go. And it looks like Dana McWilliams may empty the benches a little bit as Carson Fye and Abby Stone will go to the table for Upperman, and the seniors will check out a great senior class. Two state tournament appearances, a state championship game appearance, a runner-up in that game. 3 sub-state appearances. Most kids never get the opportunity to play in this round. They've got 3, and they'll be 2-1. This one will hurt tonight, but a great group of seniors who gave it all for the black and gold.
Yeah, fantastic career from those 3. Nothing to hang their heads about.
And Alcoa will dribble it out here. The Alcoa Lady Tornadoes finally get over the hump and return to the Glass House. Final score tonight, Alcoa 47, Upperman 36. Welcome to the Thompson Machinery and Cat Rental Store post-game show. Austin, as the students have flooded the floor, which they should not be doing here before the handshake line. We'll see if Upperman just leaves the floor. Regardless, this is an Upperman group. They had a great season. They've had a great career for this senior group. They'll bring some back next year. Hard-fought game tonight. While there certainly was controversy, Alcoa just made plays late down the stretch without question.
Yep, made tons of plays, tons of shots. Defensively, it was really good. Obviously, there's a reason they're here.
And Alcoa advances to the state tournament. This is their 5th state tournament appearance. Upperman's season comes to an end with a record of 25 victories and 10 losses. They, of course, won the tournament down in Florida. They won the Andrew Johnson Bank Ladies Classic. They advanced to sub-state for the 8th time in 11 seasons. This is their first loss in the sub-state round. Scoring for Upperman tonight, it was 13 points for T.T. Carson, and then we'll go down the line. 1 for Cassie Crouch, 1 for Bella Fye, 8 for Sadie South, 4 for Taylor Delente, 7 for Gracie Butler, and 2 for T.T. Carson, for a team total of 36. The Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game, Gwen Carroll. She hit those 2 threes in the fourth quarter to ice it away for Alcoa, led them with 13 points. Upperman's season comes to an end tonight. Austin, wish for a better result. Appreciate putting the headset. Good luck on Monday as your Bees take on Red Bank. We'll be there for the action. Certainly a great season for Upperman. The Lady Bees, yep. It's a reflection of the standard of the program when this one stings so bad when you lose in this round of the postseason.
Yep, fantastic year. A lot of teams out there would love to have 25 wins on a year in any time, and this one's going to sting for a while, but overall, really good career for those seniors, and, another great year. And hopefully on Monday night we get a little different result.
That game tips off at 7 live now over on UCR 2 and 3. On 2, it is Cookeville Green Hill. On 3, it is White County and Heritage. Austin, thanks for putting on the headset tonight. That will do it for us this evening. Once again, final score, Alcoa 47, Upperman 36. Thank you to Gentry's Power Equipment for being the presenting sponsor of Upperman basketball all season long. Back with the Bees on Monday night. Until then, I'm Noah McKay for Austin McWilliams to my right, Madison McKay on camera, and everybody at UCR. We say so long from East